Oh yeah, baby. All right, well, it's starting to feel real now. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. I'm Matt Johnson and this is The Deep Planet. I've been looking at this motor sitting on the bench for the past few days. It's been hiding under some dust covers for the past few years and it's time to put this motor in. I've got a frame ready to go here. Last time I did this, you can check out that video. This time I'm going to try it a little bit differently. Watch the video to find out, see if it works. Okay, so the idea is I'm going to get the motor down off the bench, lower it down onto this milk crate. But before I do that, I'm going to get some ratchet straps, hook them onto this frame and lift the bike up so that it's kind of out of the way. Place the motor down onto this crate and then lower the frame down back onto the motor. That way the motor's stable and secure and we're just controlling the frame and lowering it back down onto that motor. So we're going to loop that through there. I'm going to use 2 ratchet straps just so that we've got plenty of control. Alright guys, so just a few things I'll talk about here as I've been doing this process. You definitely want to keep an eye on how the bike's going on the paddock stand, and I had to readjust these and reset them and tighten up the slack, because as I was cranking the bike up I ran out of space on the ratchet strap. So having 2 is definitely the go. I've also measured the distance between the bench and the lower hole on the motor, and I'm ready to bring the motor down off the bench and down onto this milk crate. Now it is heavy, I've lifted it before, and if you're uncertain at this point, definitely worth having a friend to help you. You would have noticed as well at the start of the video I put my safety boots on. Those are steel cap boots. You do not want to drop that motor on your toe, all right? All right guys, so this is kind of a crucial moment here. Safety first. I'm going to wear some gloves. I've got a piece of timber that's almost exactly the same size and thickness as the piece of timber that the motor's resting on the bench. And also just making sure that my pathway is clear before I do this. We want to make sure that we're using a safe lifting technique, keeping our back upright, don't do any big swings and pivots, making sure, like I said, our pathway is clear, thinking it through before we do it. Make sure that you keep the heavy weight close to your body, lifting up. Really exciting moment actually. It's getting really close to being able to go into the frame. All right, we're going to pull the front tire off. So with that front wheel out of the way, that gives us a little bit more space here. So we're going to move nice and slow. I'm going to turn the motor. Having it on this piece of timber makes it a lot easier to swivel it around when we need to. And kind of turning the corner here. Oh, we're so close. And now I'm not making this up. This is the height that I set the bike at. I did measure it, eyeballed it, but what you can see here is this motor coming very close to being in position. It's the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. You just need to balance that motor, push that bolt, and there it is. Woo! She's in. All right. Put that nut onto that lower bolt, which basically means the next step's pretty easy. The next step is to slide the second bolt through that upper bracket. Obviously we've got to pull the motor back so that the hole lines up. So my idea is, now that I've got the front wheel back on, is I'm going to loosen off these ratchet straps, which is going to push down on the motor and push the motor up to get this hole aligned with these mounting points. So fingers crossed, let's see how that works. So this is the first time I've actually done this install this way. And so far, apart from the fact that it looks like I'm kind of struggling, it's been a lot less stressful than the last time I did this. So I'm going to lower that bike a bit more, try to get that even closer. There we go. That has literally worked exactly as I hoped. So what's happened is because we're lowering the bike back down onto the motor's pushed up. The last time I did this, I had to pull the motor up with one hand, and it's still quite heavy even though it's levering off the bottom bolt, and it was quite tricky. This is a lot more secure, and I think I might have even almost dropped the motor the last time I did this. Not dropped it completely, but dropped it forward. So we're loosening off these ratchets, but they're still tight enough to be under tension, so that we're going to be able to lift the bike back up again, slide that crate out, and then lower the bike. So that's really nicely lined up now. I should be able to just slide that bolt in really easily. In she goes, the little wiggle, and I could not have asked for that to be better. Second bolt's in. Let's get this nut on there, and with those two bolts in, we can now take the support out from underneath the motor. Second bolt is in. We will sort out the mounting brackets at a later stage. Next step, I'm going to just pull the bike back up a couple of centimeters. All right, moving the crate out of the way. Making sure that the back is properly on that paddock stand. My motor is in, ladies and gentlemen. And if you find this content entertaining or helpful or useful, it'd be really great if you could subscribe. Hit that like button, drop a comment, tell me what you think. How would you do this? How would you put that motor back into the frame? All right guys, thanks for watching. That was so much fun. I'm so pumped. This motor's in the bike now. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit that notification bell. While we've been recording this video, somebody's been messaging me about some parts, so hoping to get a few bits and pieces to complete this build. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video.